Hi guys, how's everybody? Happy
Hi.
Monday. First of all, I want to talk a little bit about the challenge that we're going to start next month. I was actually thinking that we could start at the end of this week, but I need some volunteers, some leaders on the team to be willing to be the ones running it this week because I'm leaving for Vegas on Wednesday. So we would start it on the 1st of December if somebody wants to volunteer to just run it for basically Thursday through Sunday. That would be great. But if not, no big deal. We can start it on Monday, the 5th. So basically what we're going to do, let me share my screen, is we are going to have the same type of little challenge, but it is going to be, where did I save that? Okay, no, that's not it. December Vital Behaviors Challenge. Okay, so we're going to do a Vital Behaviors Challenge like we've been doing in the Limitless Unity group. And number 1 is going to be inviting. So you earn 1 raffle ticket per post on the daily bragging board. Basically, we're going to be posting a daily post that says brag, whatever, who did you invite today? How did you invite them? How did the conversation go? Did you receive an objection? How did you handle it? So that everyone can kind of learn from everybody else's conversations and see how they're inviting people, where they're finding people, how they're moving the conversation along. And it gives people the chance to brag on themselves, which I'm sure a lot of people want to do, and they get really excited, but they're kind of maybe scared to share because they don't want to make other people feel bad, if they're not having the same success. So there's no training or calls like this. It's just invite like a boss. If you want to finish the year strong, then you can only post to brag, meaning if you invited, we want to know. Whether you get a no, got ignored, got a yes, signed a coach, whatever, we are simply bragging on action. So inviting, because as y'all know, it's about action. It's not about watching videos or doing trainings or learning new information. It's about putting the plan into action. Number 2 is being proof the product works. So you earn 1 raffle ticket for trying something new. So say you've never done the 3-day refresh, or you've never tried a Shakeology boost, or you've never tried any of the Beachbody performance supplements. It could be just one of them. It doesn't have to be all of them. Maybe you've tried Energize, but you want to try Hydrate, or you've tried Recover and you want to try Recharge. Any one of them can count. And basically actually I was going to make this 50. So anyone can win a $50 gift card for, Target or Amazon for the raffle. And these are how you get your names into the raffle. Discount or business building coaches, doesn't matter, but you have to be active. That's the only thing. You have to have 50 PV, because if you're not active, you can't participate and get prizes. So it tells you a little bit more about what we're doing. 50 PV, everything that's 50 PV will get you 1 entry. So for example, the 3-day refresh is 52, so you'll get 1 entry for that. All you have to do is screenshot yourself with the product and share on your social media, and then post the URL into the group. And you can do this as many times as you want in the month. You don't just get 1 ticket. You get as many as you're willing to try new things. Number 3 is personal development. We're doing a book club. We're going to do Building an Empire by Brian Carruthers. It's a great book about just action. Actually, my upline, Kevin Jensen, sent it to me as a gift. And we'll do a weekly Zoom for the book, where we'll talk about aha moments and how we can apply what we learned from the book to our business. So you get 1 raffle ticket for attending the weekly Zoom, and it'll be separate from this team call. Okay? So that's the team challenge for next month. Actually, I'll probably add in number 4, since 4 vital behavior is recognition. We will do calling out. I meant to add this in and I didn't. Calling out a client, a teammate for a job well done equals 1 raffle ticket. So this is not bragging about yourself. It's bragging about one of your coaches or someone in your downline. I don't know why it keeps going in like that, but dang Why do you keep resetting and being, I want a number 4, not a number 1. It won't let me. It won't let me do a number 4. Okay, so there you go. It's the 4 vital behaviors challenge. That's it for next month. That's the challenge that we're doing. Anyone that is an active coach can participate. It's for the entire downline, not just my personally sponsored coaches. And that's what we're doing. And we need people that are willing, if they're open to it, leaders, please, to volunteer to lead the week. So basically what I mean by that is that you would post every day and say, here's your post for the brag board, and you would lead the Zoom. You would be the one kind of leading the Zoom discussion. Now on the Zoom discussion, it's not going to be you talk for an hour and everybody listens to you. It's going to be you're kind of, leading it, like helping people to get to what we want to talk about and how they can apply things, but not necessarily, you don't have to come up with a presentation or anything. You're just leading it. So if we have some volunteers that would really be step up, we would love to have leaders lead the week. So just like what Celia's been doing with the post, you can make up a little graphic, day 1, here's your bragging post. And then, just being willing to host the Zoom for the personal development. And that's it, really. Just leading the week, basically just posting every day saying, time to brag, guys. Maybe post a little cool graphic, and that's it. You missed what?
For like people other than like the main leaders, like, Callie, me, and other like people that have like more of a downline, I think it'd be better for like people in our downline to kind of step up and lead, because this, people that are nervous to run challenge groups or do things on their own, this is a great practice. I mean, you can't mess up. It's just our team. Like, this is a great opportunity to step up and take a leading role and, practice leading within our team, and then go out and lead cold market, in my opinion, versus always kind of depending on like some of like the top leaders within the team to always kind of step up and lead. Let's get some fresh blood and have other people step up, in my opinion.
Yeah, we would love for you guys to step up if you'd be willing to. That would be really great. And it gives you the opportunity to lead in a place that is a safe environment. I would still like Callie to lead if Callie would be willing to lead, because I know you would be awesome at it. And I know we've had a lot of Malibu coaches leading stuff, but not necessarily TSU leading a lot of stuff. So I'd love to have you participate in that.
Yeah, well, I mean, like Raina, like Callie's got a great team. Let's hear from them.
Yeah, and Melissa, is Callie's team or Stephanie's team?
Melissa's mine, but she's great. She needs to step up. She's got some killer posts. Melissa, you're a person I was thinking of, and I see you shaking your head like, oh no, don't call on me.
You're on the call, so you're getting called out. I was going to make a video today in the team group as well. That the other thing that we talked about, we've kind of been doing these weekly mastermind Zooms. They're not really weekly. They're kind of like bi-monthly or bi-weekly, with Stephanie, Celia, Kristen, and a couple, Charisse. And we just talked about what we want to do. And one thing that I wanted to talk about is team calls are part of our job. So treat it as if it's your job. I mean, you don't try to go to work in the morning, do you? To your job? You don't say, maybe if I can squeeze it in, I'll go, or if I'm not doing something else. This is part of our job. And being on the team call is going to help you and your business. It's going to help you not feel like you're trying to build this business on a lone island by yourself. You're going to understand that you're a part of a team that's bigger than you, that's a group of women that are all here to help one another. If you don't get on the team calls, it's very easy. It's much easier to get discouraged in this business and quit. So I want to tell you that these aren't just for us to sit here and talk at each other, or these are for us to solidify bonds and to be a team, to actually be a team and see each other once a week for 1 hour. That's it. So if you're not getting on the team calls, by all means, that's fine. But the people that are going to get on the team calls, those are the people, especially my personally sponsored, that are going to get more attention from me and time. Because I'm going to invest into your business as much as you're willing to invest into your business. Now, if you're running your own team calls, cool, no problem. Stephanie runs her own team calls. Callie runs her own team calls. They still get on the team call. I think there's some other leaders on the team that don't. They probably, if they listen to this recording, maybe they will get the message and maybe they'll decide to start joining. I don't know, but the message really is for them and they're not here. That's great that you have your own team call, but not staying connected to the larger team, I think, is doing you and your team a disservice. I think that you're going to get more out of it and you're going to feel more momentum and you're going to be able to build your team stronger if you stay connected to the mothership. And it's once a week. Sorry, it's once every other week. Secondly, we have the live webinar, the business opportunity webinar every other week. And we kind of talked about it. And we feel that we should treat it like a team call. We are supposed to be on the team call every week at 8 p.m. anyway. So instead of doing a team call, we're doing a live webinar. Be on that every week. Our point is to do that live webinar, and it's not really a webinar anymore. It's just a discussion. I'm not doing the presentation. I'm just talking for like 10 minutes about the history of Team Aloha and my story, and then all other coaches are sharing their stories. This last week, we only had one prospect, Raina's prospect, so she got like the whole call focused on her and her goals and what she's interested in, and it was great because that's what I would do if I was doing a one-on-one call. Here's what I'm going to say about that. Treat the live webinar or the live Zoom, the behind the scenes with Team Aloha, as if it's a team call. A team call is part of your job. You don't try to make it, you make it because that's your job. Because our point is we want to grow that. We want people to see that they're joining something that is, a fellowship. It's a community. It's a sport. It's a system. It's women. It's not just one person. So when you're prospecting someone to join your team or to join your business, you're instantly teaching them how to build this business. So if you're doing a one-on-one call and you're amazing at one-on-one calls and getting them to sign up as for example, maybe Stephanie, getting them to enroll as a coach or having them enroll as a coach, or me, I have an easy time. I can enroll people as coaches pretty easily with a one-on-one call. Well, if I don't get those people connected right away to the team, then they're not going to understand that it's more than just me and them. It's more than just us two. It's a group of women that are all working together. Now, if I, instead of doing that one-on-one call, or maybe I do a one-on-one call and then I say, why don't you get on this live event that comes up on Monday? Maybe I already did my one-on-one call. They haven't said yes yet. Then I invite them to the live event and they get to see, oh, this is what it's all about. This is a team. Like, I'm joining these women and I'm going to be a part of this awesome community of support. So we're teaching them how to prospect. So if I do the one-on-one and I'm really awesome at it and they enroll, they're going to think they need to do the one-on-one and be really awesome at it, or they're not going to get people enrolled. And if they're not awesome at it, then maybe they're just never going to do it, and then they're never going to be able to enroll any coaches. But if they come on the live the live Zoom, and they are prospected that way and they hear about the business that way, then they know they don't have to do it themselves. They don't have to recruit coaches. They don't have to present the business to people. Maybe they're a brand new coach and they feel like, I have to learn how to present this to people, and I just started. How am I ever going to figure that out? They don't. They just invite people that are interested in the business or considering joining them to the live webinar. And who is it? I think you have the wrong house. Oh shit, they delivered something.
Well, we also talked about, like, on the live webinars, like, if nobody shows up, like Raina, if you wouldn't have had someone show up, then we just would have done more training. Like, Lisa Gaussman actually got on, like, super late. Like, we were about to get off and Lisa hopped on and we were like, dude, you got 2 coaches. You got any questions? and we talked with her, and we, like, Marissa, Lisa and I talked for, like, 10 or 15 minutes, and she got one-on-one time to pick our brains and just kind of share what was going on in her business. And, we provided suggestions. But that's kind of also what we talked about. Like, if nobody does show up, great. Then we have, that's a great time to ask questions that maybe you didn't have the night before, or now you do, and whatever. So it's just added training that you can also use. Sorry, I took over because you left.
No worries. Yeah, so the point is the train of thought that I was still on is when they come and they learn about the business through that call, they know that they don't ever have to present it on their own. And since they already joined that call, and that's what ended up having them get the excitement to join, they know what it's going to be like. And that's when they can start inviting their potential coaches to it, and it will grow. And hopefully it'll keep growing and growing and growing into momentum, and to the point where it's so big that they're like, wow, I'm joining this huge community of women that is so supportive. And then maybe one day people will start breaking off and doing their own live webinars, live events or whatever, or Zooms, when it starts maybe it's going to get to the point where it's so overwhelming because it's too many people. And then, Team Shift and Team Malibu and Team Strength United and all, they're going to break off and do their own live events. But for now, I don't think that any of us are that big to the point where it's going to be so overwhelming. So treat that as a team call and plan to be on it every week. Anybody else have anything to add? I got to plug in my computer. So Stephanie,
I'm actually curious, Callie, on your thoughts on this. I told Marissa that I'd be willing to, I'm only doing a team call every other week now. So hold on, let me get Marissa. Here. So when Marissa has her team call, I didn't do one last night because Marissa has one. And then next week I will do one. And I told her I would just post my call details from now on in Limitless. So anybody that wants to get on, since she only does one every other week, can get on my team calls. But I'm wondering, for other people that lead team calls, like Kelly, I know you do, how do you feel about allowing anyone in Limitless to be on your team calls? Because maybe somebody on my team just isn't vibing with me, or how I present things, or how I share things, but maybe they would really vibe with you, Callie, and, take things from your team calls and be like, damn, sometimes when you hear things a different way, it really clicks. So maybe people aren't clicking with the way I'm talking, or the way Kristen's talking, or Celia's talking, whoever talks on my team calls, but maybe they'd click with your team calls. I don't know if you would be open to sharing. Marissa, I was wondering if other team leaders that do lead team calls would all want to just share their team call details in Limitless, and anyone can join, because we all live with different people.
Yeah, no, I think that would be awesome, because honestly, I haven't been able to have one for a month because I can't get everybody to stop and be in one place at one time. So it's been really hard. And I almost feel like because Team Aloha is getting bigger, Stephanie and my team and Kristen, Celia, you guys, our teams are growing huge. That would actually serve as almost branch off team calls. I like your idea, Steph, of vibing better, with other coaches on the team. But either way, it keeps everybody with like-minded people. So they're not just we went 2 months and we haven't had a team call. Super discouragement creeps right in. I suck. I'm bad. I'm going to quit. We've seen it happen. It's what happens. So
if we do that, I think our downlines need to realize that they do need to come back to us with questions. So it's not like my downline now gets on your team call and they now bombard you with questions. I wouldn't want that to happen. So I think it's more to just hear things in a different light and get multiple trainings and have it at different opportunities. Mine's at 8:30 on a Sunday night, Eastern Standard Time. I stopped doing them every Sunday because I'm not everyone's getting on,
Right.
And it's what's the point? In all honesty, I'm showing up every day, but not everybody else was. But maybe it's, schedules and conflicts, whatnot. So, my kids right now, I can't freaking put her down. She's screaming. So whatever, I mute it. I have dinner right now. My kids I'm making it work. So that's never been my excuse. But this might open it up to other people to get on a call.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. It would give them more options. Especially if they're feeling discouraged. If you feel discouraged, you're going to feel forced. And if you feel forced, then you're just going to get burnt out and you're not going to want to do it anymore. So I would be open to that, to let whoever come in, if it's convenient for them. If they weren't able to get on Monday's call, weren't able to get on your Sunday call, and they were able to get on whatever day I decide to have a call again, and it works for them, been great. They're getting fed.
Anybody else have any thoughts? Do any of these other people?
Anybody?
Huxley?
I don't really know what you're talking about, so I would chime in if I knew, but.
Well, we were just sharing that some of us run our own team calls and we're not doing them as frequently anymore. And I was going to offer up my team calls to Limitless and see if other leaders that do run calls would be willing to do the same. So people can get on different leaders' calls and hear ideas from different leaders and maybe learn something and hear it a different way and might click with them.
Right. That sounds good. Nadia doesn't run calls at all for us anymore. And I obviously only have 2 coaches under me and they don't jump on ever. So that's why I've been kind of plugging in here as much as possible.
Good job, Annie.
I thought that was you, Annie. I was like, Huxley, who the hell's Huxley?
She's not, don't say her name too loud, please.
Oh.
She'll come running and this is supposed to be my husband's responsible time with her. And he forgot everything. So I just had to run to the dollar store and get everything that was supposed to be due today. That was from over break. So.
But look, you made it work. You showed up. Bam! I just served my family dinner and food in my mouth and grabbed a drink and sat my butt back down. I'm here.
Listen, I know I had that tablet, this phone, this tablet, and a laptop all before I could get on. They're all dead.
I love it.
Okay, so do you think we should talk a little bit about, I posted in Limitless what people are struggling with on the struggle bus. Does anybody else have anything they wanted to add about what we're just talking about?
Like from the post or what you guys were just talking about on here?
What we were just talking about on here.
Yeah.
Okay, then we will just go in order. I'm going to talk first about what Crystal wrote and saying she's having a hard time getting others to relate and connect with her. I'm not doing videos right now, trying to take a step back for a minute and trying something different. I have noticed they watch my videos on my family more than fitness. Sometimes I think maybe doing this isn't my forte. I'm going to be maybe a little, I don't know. I'm going to be me, which is pretty honest and sometimes can be harsh, but I'm going to be me. And I'm going to tell you what my feeling is about it. And when I had a hard time, or when I've seen coaches having a hard time connecting with people and getting them to the point where they're ready to enroll, they are not establishing trust. They're not establishing trust with their audience, whether it's they are rushing the process. I'm not saying that this applies to you, but we can talk about your conversations. They're rushing the process. They're not spending enough time getting to know people. People are feeling like they're being sold to versus like they're developing a relationship with someone. And people don't want to be sold to. They want to buy things, but they don't want to be sold to. And I actually failed for my first 6 months as a coach, guys. I didn't make Success Club. I earned, I think, $800 in my first 6 months as a coach. Okay. I didn't do well. Okay. So it's, I'm not saying that you can't change that and make it different. It's possible. It worked for me, but for me, I was willing to go and learn why I wasn't getting people to say yes, why I wasn't getting people to yes. I took seminars. I practiced a lot. So I just kept doing it and learning from my mistakes. But the biggest thing I think is, I know that you said you weren't going to do quarter course because you couldn't afford it. You didn't have the money. So I know, because you said it, finances are an issue for you. You don't have a lot of finances. You said it in the team group. So I'm not off base by saying it, right? We're being here. When you're struggling to just make ends meet and you really need those people to say yes because you really need the money, I think a lot of times people feel that, and that is what ends up having them be, they hold on to their money. They feel like they're being sold to, and they don't want to buy. So if I have someone that comes to me and says that they're having a hard time, they're getting all no's, I go back to where I was for those first 6 months, and I was getting no after no after no after no. And what I wasn't doing was really, really taking my time to get to know the people and really understanding who they were, building trust with them, building a relationship with them, connecting with them, and having a real desire to help them make changes in their life. When I started making it about them, truly, authentically in my heart, and not about me, that's when people started saying yes. That is my opinion. It could be wrong. I don't know. If you want to share on that, you can. And if other people have things to add, I'd love to hear, because it doesn't mean that I'm right. That's just what I feel.
Yeah, I can totally go ahead and share.
Okay.
I'm going to have to go ahead. Okay, so last night I had a convo with my hubby, and I really have come like digging deep within myself here. And I really do think you're right. Like, I think I'm talking too much about me. I think I'm coming across as a dick. You know what I mean? Like, I do. I think I'm coming across as maybe too cocky. Maybe I'm like all about me and not about them. And I totally agree. Yeah, like I do want to help people. That is my passion, my desire. But I think that I've gotten so wrapped up into, look what I've done. Look what I've done. I think that is like annihilating me. You know what I mean? I'm so like adamant about proving to everybody, like, look what I've done. Like, it works, it works, it works. No, I don't. Maybe I know. I don't know if I'm too salesy. I don't try to really sell. I just try to talk to them.
You just said it. It's the crystal show.
Yeah.
You're making it the crystal show versus your prospect being the person that you're learning about.
Right. And I don't know. Like, I don't know. I guess this probably maybe doesn't make sense to a lot of you. I hope it does. But it's like, just now I'm finding out who I am, and it's hard because it's like, I don't know what empathy is. Like, I'm trying to figure out what that is. Like, I'm trying to figure out, no, it's not about me. Like, it's about others, not just me. You know what I mean? And it's hard because I never had to do that before. It was always about me. Does that make sense?
Yes. And that is what is happening. And that's why people aren't enrolling with you.
Yeah. And I don't, like, I'm trying to break the cycle. I'm like, duh, like, what is wrong? Like, why can't I break it? And I'm trying to dig deep into my soul. Like, okay, Crystal, like, can't be that dumb. Like, you know.
So what are you doing for personal development right now?
I'm reading, I can't remember, Joel Osteen, and I don't have my You're a Badass with me, so I don't have that, but I'm YouTubing it. But I'm not doing it a lot, I'll be honest. I've kind of like fallen off the grid because I'm like beating myself up. You know what I mean? Just kind of like beating myself up. Like, I don't know.
Okay. Your income in this business will be a direct reflection of how much you grow as a person.
Right.
Personal development is the number one vital behavior. And it's the one that we so easily let go.
Right.
So if you need to take a step back and really focus on that and get it every day, that might need to be what you do.
Right.
Because if you're stuck, if you're in a place in your business where you're stuck, most likely you're not doing enough personal development or the right kind of personal development.
Right.
Because if you're lacking in confidence with your inviting because you've gotten 0 no's and you're trying to read a book on leadership, you know, those two that's not going to help you. If you're lacking confidence because you're getting a bunch of no's, you need to read books on confidence, on how to build confidence with yourself.
Right.
So you have to make sure that your personal development correlates with the part of the component that you're working on. So my advice to you would be to just focus on personal development and don't try to sell anybody anything. Just try to make some friends. Try to make some friends.
Right.
Don't even talk about Beachbody. Try to make some friends to the point where you're like, hey, this girl's cool. We're chatting. I would invite them over to my house to like have lunch one day. Or I would invite them to my birthday party. Get to that point with them and continue to post on social media about your journey. Because if you get to that point with them and you continue to post on social media about your journey and you show up every day and you're still consistent with that, you're going to gain credibility with that person. And eventually they're going to say, you know what, Crystal, I've been watching you and I love what you're doing. How do I get involved in that? And it's going to be like this, because they're going to say yes, because you already developed a friendship with that person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
slow down to speed up.
Okay.
Anybody else want to share with Crystal what they feel about that?
I do want to say something because when Stephanie and Kristen started the whole Jesse Reagan training, I was like following them and training when they started the Jesse Reagan training, when they first started it. I followed them and I did everything that they were doing in the training on my like page. And in doing that, I really like crushed my personal page. I didn't have any of the followers that were following me actually going to my like page and liking it, so they weren't seeing any of my posts, and it was completely my bad. But I I took a step back and I was like, what do I need to do to fix what I did? And I just started posting on my personal page and regrowing like the people that were following me before, and some like adding people every day like I should have been anyways, and doing all the things that I knew for a fact I could do to help myself. And I have a lot of followers now that I didn't have even before. Like it just grew a lot, and a lot of people, I always get a lot of engagement on my posts in doing that. But I think sometimes you get so ahead of yourself that like you have to stop and reassess the things that you have to be doing to make yourself successful, not only in the business but like just in life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Crystal.
Yeah.
What about your Instagram account?
Do what?
Do you ever follow up with people with your Instagram?
No, because I'm kind of like new.
And I wanted to wait until the meeting, so to bring this up to give you mad props. So Crystal had a picture with a good call to action in a sense, and you had like a crap ton of people liking that post, and that's probably maybe where you should focus some of your attention to when you're reaching out with people. It might not be Facebook.
Right.
But I wanted to point that out. I mean, because I got back on Instagram and I saw your account and I was like, wow, man, that's good.
Thanks.
I enroll several people a month from Instagram still. And I do Facebook too, but Facebook is more from ads and Instagram is organic. I don't pay for ads on Instagram.
I mean, she had a post on Instagram that was badass.
Thanks.
And you know what you can do is you can start out by just looking at those likes and saying, and then sending them a direct message and saying, hey, thank you so much for your like on my post, on such and such post. I really appreciate it. And find something out about them first. Go to their page and scroll and make sure it's someone that's your target market, obviously, your avatar. If not, then if it's like a 50-year-old Indian 100-pound overweight. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, if it's not your target market, then yeah, 531 exactly. So you can like 5 of their pictures, comment on 3, and then you get 1 new follower. But I don't really even do that. I just send them a direct message. I'm like, hey, thanks so much for liking my post. And I ask them something about their page.
Okay.
For example, I have Instagram set up for nurses. So I'm like, oh, hey, you're a nurse. What kind of nurse are you? There you go. It's something
right.
Very simple. But then don't go right into that sales mode. Just make them your friend. Treat it as if you're making a new friend.
Another thing, because I was struggling to make ends meet and ran into the I should just quit because I'm not making any money, blah, blah, blah. And that was coming through big time. I remember sending scripts to Marissa and she'd be like, oh my gosh, you're just talking about money. Like, no wonder. Like,
oh yeah. I actually,
Yeah, remember?
I read
Good.
some of Callie's conversations and she was rushing it. Like, have you had Stephanie read some conversations?
I think I did, didn't I, Steph?
You've only sent me like, I think 2 conversations of her.
Okay, I would probably send at least 4 more.
Okay.
Nope. But the thing is, personal development, Marissa nailed it on the head. It's going to be a reflection of what you're doing with personal development. Your business is going to reflect that. While you're working on that, you have to be willing to accept the fact that you are planting seeds right now, and it is not harvest season.
Yeah.
I get it. It's Christmas. You want extra money. You want to do this. You want to do that. But you got to get out of right now and focus 6 months down. You have to see it long way down. If you don't, your New Year's resolution will be, I'm done with Beachbody. Peace out. Okay? That's the dead truth. So you can't think because you're doing something, you get instant gratitude. Okay? It's all going to come together. Okay? Just know that you have to trust the process. This, again, is what separates what we do from every other network marketing thing out there, is we trust it and we are in it for the long haul. Okay?
Yeah.
I know it's frustrating, Crystal. I don't know about you guys, but Marissa, I know you might deal with this on the emotional aspect. Probably at least once a month, we hit rock bottom emotionally somewhere. We're just like, gosh, what are we doing? And then we work back up. It's a cycle. It's like running a mile.
I like have this, my thing for me, it's this could be our 3rd time being an elite team. We could be 3-time elite, but it would take like so many factors for it to all come together. I mean, I would have to enroll 12 challenge packs in November and December and have all of them get into a challenge group and accept the invitation. I would need to get my 5-star back. Callie would need to be a diamond. Tanasia would need to be a diamond. And yeah, I would need to do all that. And we still might not even make it. So I gave up. I gave up. And I'm not saying it as like I gave up on like a goal. I mean, I want to be a 3-time elite team. Like, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to push my goal on anybody else. So if it was like, everyone was like, let's do it, let's gun for it, let's push for it, let's be 3-time elite, I would totally do it. But it isn't that. People aren't that. So for me, it's letting go of that. And there are still days where I'm like, damn it, it's not going to happen. Like, and I feel it and I get down about it. I'm like, damn it. Like, I wish I would have worked harder this year. I wish I would have pushed more. I wish I would have recruited more. I could have done it. We could have done it. I didn't recruit enough. It's personal. It's my personal work. I didn't recruit enough and probably didn't, recruit the right people. And regardless, I have my downs. I feel bad about it sometimes. And then I have my days. I feel much better about it this year than I've ever felt. So it is improving because the last 2 years I've been like pushing it right until the end, even no matter what it took. And this year I'm like, I'm not willing to do that. If it happens naturally as a byproduct of all of us building this business together, hell to the yeah. But I don't think it's going to happen I shouldn't say that because that's like telling the universe, like, no, it's not going to happen. But it would take a crazy miracle for it to happen. And yeah, while that's possible, I'm not willing to make that be my major focus.
Right.
My focus is that I want to serve people. And I haven't always been that way. Stephanie can tell you. Callie can tell. I mean, people that know me for Cherise can tell you. I've been there. I've been where it's the Marissa show and all about the Marissa. And even though I was having success and I was earning a really good living, it still wasn't feeling good because I wasn't making it about other people. I was making it about me. And it was working for me. It was still working for me, but it wasn't feeling good. And right now, I can honestly, truly say there's not one person on this team that I'm pushing to make me get to a goal. Not one person. As a matter of fact, I did a call with a girl who found me on Instagram, and here's a quick story for you. She was prospected by a top 10 coach to be in a challenge group for just to be a customer. She had reached out on Instagram, and the top 10 coach made her, said, you have to get the challenge pack to be in the challenge group. Now, I've done that before because that used to be the Beachbody way. They taught us they can only get in if they have a challenge pack. And I taught that way for Charisse knew. Charisse was around then. Callie was around then. Actually, Callie was around, and Callie was probably one of the first people that I let in to a group without getting a challenge pack because we had a really good talk on the phone, and I was just like, I can't not get this girl in. Like she's whatever. So anyway, we got on the phone. Her name's Felicia, and she was like, yeah, she had reached out to me via email, and I said, let's just get on the phone and talk. By the way, Stephanie gets on the phone. She fought it for a long time. Now she only gets on the phone, and I am getting on the phone. I'm actually talking to them on the phone. I'm not prospecting through Messenger because it helps me decide if I want to work with that person. I'm not being interviewed. I'm interviewing them. We're interviewing each other. It's a back and forth. And I've turned down more people this month than I ever have as a whole career in my Beachbody because I only want to work with people that are seriously committed to reaching their goals. So we talked. She's already lost a bunch of weight. She just needs to tone. She ended up telling me mid-conversation, because I told her, if you can't, obviously Shakeology, is worth it and it's going to get you better results faster. But if you can't afford it, single mom on a limited income, just do the program, Core to Force. And she was like, okay. And then we kind of got to talking a little more, and she's like, well, I'm definitely enrolling with you as my coach because I talked to this top coach and she said I had to do Shakeology to be in the challenge group. And I was like, okay, cool. And then we got to talking, and she's like, well, what happens if I become a coach? And I was like, well, I told her you can get 25% commissions, blah, 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 blah. You can build a team, whatever. And she was like, okay. And I was like, but then it's going to cost you, for the program, if you want to do the DVDs and the live streaming, it's going to be like $60 plus 40, $39.99. So it's going to be like around $100, and it's $140 for the challenge pack with the Shakeology. So I was like, so you probably don't want to enroll as a coach with just the program. And I more so thought she was going to say, never mind, I'm not going to do coaching. I'm just going to get the program because it's another $40. And she's like, you know what? I'll just do the challenge pack then as a discount coach. I mean, she wants to be a business builder. She enrolled with the challenge pack that day. So my point is, in the past, I would have been the way this top 10 coach is too, but they're going to be number one, and they're not number one right now. And I know who it is. They're not the number one spot, and they're going for that number one spot, and they're gunning for it. So they need to get that person enrolled with the challenge pack to get their points to be a top number one coach in the business. And I don't. I need to serve that person because she came to me and she asked for my help. Now, I haven't always been that way. But the fact that I was willing to make that adjustment and meet her where she wanted to be, that's when it just made it magically where she had the money for Shakeology. There you go. When you have a servant's heart and you show up and you serve people and you meet them where they are and they feel that and they open up their pocketbook. Not that I'm saying like I like tricked her. I was her friend first. I was her person first. I was her coach first. I wasn't just a salesperson.
Right. Thanks. It's just hard. It's just hard sometimes, I think.
It's definitely hard.
It's like I'm breaking myself down like this sober person now, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, whoa. Like, it's just, I don't know. I didn't know this person for almost 43 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like, I know, it's like, oh, damn, this chick, man, I don't know. But yeah, like I'm willing to change. Like I'm willing to do stuff to help.
You got to slow down to speed up.
Right.
So let's move on. We have like 10 minutes. We'll move on and discuss the next person who I think it was Kristen. We're not going to be able to get to everybody. I was okay being MIA when sick. My business and page took a hit despite being consistent. I messaged and followed up with at least 20 people this morning and invited 2 to coaching. Kind of frustrating, but it will be okay. Okay, so there was actually a national wake-up call by Stephanie Chico on November 14th. Did you listen to that? Okay. That would be my recommendation for you, because it is all about leaning into your chaos or whatever it is, like not using things as your excuse, but using them as your reason. So I'm not saying that you could be like, I'm going to be coaching because I'm sick. Like that can't really be a reason, but it was a good call, and it kind of relates to what you're doing. Like she lost her brother this year in May, and she was like she was wanting to run away from personal development because she wasn't like feeling good, so we run away from it, when in reality it's what we need the most. And she ended up just making a commitment to herself that she was going to hit Success Club every month, because she knew she could at least do that, and that was something that she could control. And she just kind of leaned into things, and she ended up kind of taking, after a couple of months, she took a whiteboard, not that you need to do this because you were just sick, but she took a whiteboard and she had all these goals on there, and she wiped that whole board clean and started like all over her whole business. I mean, she just wrote new goals. She got rid of a bunch of old templates. She just kind of like started herself fresh and clean and anew. And anyway, it was a great call. And that you were sick. It's not like you're on the struggle bus because you were sick, but it's not like you have some major, you're kicking ass in your business. And
well, I think what it is because, and I tried to talk about this in Malibu so people could relate. It's like, I don't have people beating down my door. That's not why I reach Success Club. That's not why I connect with people on my page. Like, I'm messaging people. So when I got really sick, it wasn't like a couple of days I had the flu. Like, I mean, I was getting a breathing treatment. I was in there, 2, almost 3 times. And so I was consistent with my posts, but I was not engaging with people. I messaged a few people. So I feel like that caused my business to take a huge hit. And now I'm like playing catch up. So I'm kind of scrambling at the end of the month, which I'm not used to doing. So it's got me a little irritated. But I was late to the call because friends of ours came over and they're interested. So I took that time, not getting on the call, but to be with them and kind of talk with them about stuff. And so just trying to figure out where to manage my time a little bit better.
That's a testimonial to not taking your foot off the gas, because a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm good. I hit Success Club 5 or 10. But what you have to understand is that your Success Club points usually, like for this month, are coming from the conversations that you had in the last 90 days. So if you stop having conversations because you're like, I'm good, I hit my 10, and then you stop having conversations for the last, maybe you hit it in the first 10 days of the month and you don't talk to anyone for 20 days, you're going to be, next month, you're going to be scrambling around. And that's how this business works. There's a 90-day delay. So what you're doing today in your business is not going to show up for 90 days until 90 days from now. Okay. So if you can think of it as just get rid of Success Club, don't even think about Success Club. I know it's an important benchmark, but if it wasn't there, how would you build your business? Would you reach out to people every day? I mean, you just have to, I'm not saying to answer me because I think that it's probably going to vary for every different person. But for me, I know that it drives me. It drives me to talk to people because I have that goal that I want to reach, but it shouldn't really drive me. I should be driven to help people, to serve people, regardless of whether there's a Success Club, reward or not.
Well, and my thing is like I had set a goal to help at least 3 people this week, which I did. They're all Beachbody on demand, which is I'm totally content with because that's 3 people that I'm helping.
But that's not getting you to Success Club.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Success Club aside, like my goal is to, with everything going on, like I want to help 3 people this week. So I have 2 people. Yeah.
Hi. Good night. Love you.
So there you go. That's a good idea for you to all think about, setting a goal of how many people you want to help versus setting a Success Club goal how many people you want to help a week, you know, versus, because I think Success Club is going to go away. I think Success Club is they're making changes to the Success Club program for sure. I don't know if it's going to happen in 2017, but I feel very strongly that it will. They're making changes to the Success Club program and the Elite program, because the Success Club program has kind of run its course. It's not really, my hope of all hopes is that they do it based on volume. Because then if you have someone who enrolls with a digital unlock, for example, of a program, volume is volume is volume is volume. So you don't have to feel like I'm a sucky coach because I didn't enroll them with the challenge pack. I only got them to do the program. You know, people are like, brand new coaches are like, yeah, they didn't get the challenge pack. You know, they only got the program. Like, great, they got the program, you know, like those things should be celebrated. But because we have the Success Club program, people get like, they feel shitty if they don't do it. You're welcome. So anyway, it's 9:00 and we can, if people want to stay on, I'm willing to do one more Annie's. We'll go on to the next person, but if you guys want to hop off, you can. I don't expect you to stay on, but we can do one more. And then we can resume next week with the other people if we want. So Annie says, I have a lot of messages in my inbox from my addiction post that I haven't been able to catch up on to connect with everyone in some way over that post, with finding it to be extremely difficult to convert them to a healthier life. I get the money objection 90% of the time. I ask them if their dope was available for the same price, would you spend it? And most say yes. So I got into priorities. It's hard because I understand that many of them are in a different state of mind right now. I can't see the value in themselves at all. It's so easy to invite, but really hard to get them to buy. If you have any secrets, I'm all ears. I know it's trust, and I've spoken to some of these people for a month before asking to join. I do need to run more free groups. I think that might help me get these people that are saying no to the opportunity but still want to get healthy. I have the perfect solution. These people are looking at wanting to support, and the group would be perfect, but it's just getting them in there. My page is growing quickly every day, so I hope that's a positive. My ads are being run with my target market too. I don't know. Okay. My guess, are you getting them on the phone? You're muted.
Are you there? The ones that agree to get on the phone, yes. But there are some that I message and we message back and forth, and then I'll say, hey, I'd love to give you a call this weekend and just chat, catch up on our conversation, and they don't ever answer back.
Okay.
So that will, yes, but the people that don't know.
Okay. I would be a little more, what do you call it? I would take a little bit more posturing. Bye, Tara. In your asking them to get on the phone. So I'd say something along the lines of, okay, awesome. Like if you're talking to them about a group, I'd be like, all right, let's get on the phone this week and go over the final details about the group. What day and time works for you? I don't like say like, do you want to jump on the phone and chat for a few? Like, I'm like, all right, we're going to get on the phone. You know, next step is getting on the phone. So they know that that's part of the next step. Now, if they don't take that next step, because there still are people that won't, then I know that they're really not serious. So I'm not going to waste my time with them anymore. And Stephanie actually is the one who taught me that. She's like, people that I don't have time for that. People don't get on the phone. They're not serious. The other thing is, are these people in recovery or are they still in addiction?
There's quite a few that's still in addiction, and then it's half and half.
Yeah. Those people aren't going to be people that are going to be, you're not going to be, I mean, addiction is, as you know, like, you need a professional to help you.
It's hard because they have opened up to me. I know their true life story, you know what I mean? Like, they've spilled everything about themselves, but it's just like, there's a great part of them that are like, I'm ready to move forward, but I just don't know how to live my life again.
No, they're not going to be, I'm sorry to be like very like, but I'm going to be pretty black and white on this. I don't feel that you're going to be able to help those people out of that. If they're still in addiction, I think that right there is like a no. If they're in addiction, they need to, I would be like, here's a professional. Talk to them and if I were you, because I have my conscious healer, right? So when people start to tell me about their things that they need therapy for, I'm instantly like, would you be open to talking with someone about it? And if they're like, yes, I'm like, here's a website, check it out, see if she's a good fit for you. She does a free 45-minute consultation. If I were you, I would have something to send them so that you can still add value to them. You're still helping them, you're still serving them, but those aren't going to be the people that are going to join your challenge group and be seriously committed, because they're going to go back into addiction. Now, the people that are in recovery, I had 2 coaches this year that were in recovery, addicts, both alcoholics. It was like literally bookends. They were the exact same person. They came into the business. They were like full steam ahead. You know, they went in the challenge groups, full steam ahead, full force, and then they went out like as quickly as they came in. And it was about, oh, I don't want to push products on people. I don't want to sell. And it was like, there's nothing that I could do about that. I don't feel that it was me. I think it's really hard business for addicts because in recovery, because I feel that the social media is somewhat of an addiction. So it's hard for those people that are just starting recovery or been in recovery only for a short time or still not sure if they're going to be. They have a hard time with the social media aspect of it. That was their thing. They didn't want to be on social media all the time because it was like fueling their addiction, and they were getting into that addict's energy, and that's what turned them off.
Yeah. There's quite a few people that are completely in recovery or like months, years, you know what I mean? And that are like all about, my post was about having a life after recovery. So there's a lot of people that have recovered and then they're just like, I just don't know how to have fun. Like I've never gained myself back. And those are the people that I try to put more time into, but it's like, those are the people too that don't want to jump on the phone, or they're the people that constantly message me and say, oh, you inspire me. I loved your post today, or, you know, blah, blah, blah.
I would definitely try to get those people on the phone, because those sound like they're going to be more your avatar. And I would just try to be more, it's all about posture, like for you, is just be more direct about it, as opposed to like, oh yeah, let's try to, you know, just be like, okay, the next step is like we get on the phone, what day and time works for you. If they're still not open to it, then you've got to keep moving on. You can't keep asking the same people over and over. You just got to move on and find new people. I think addiction is a very hard thing to have them be in this business. I think I think it's hard. I'm sure you know that. I mean, the social media aspect of it all, that's addiction, you know, it's a big part of addiction. So it's tough.
Yeah, and like really what Sasha just said, like if I put all of these people in a group, does it necessarily have to be like, what are your thoughts on like just kind of like maybe like a mind soul type of like support and accountability over like fitness? You know what I mean? Because a lot of them are like, I want to be healthy and I want to get fit eventually, but right now my mind's just not right. And like I know how to help them in that way because I've been there. And I mean, I feel that maybe if I could gain trust through like a week or a 2-week group, that is something of just like opening up, you know, allowing them to vent to somebody, you know, open to somebody, tell somebody their goals. That's not like prejudging them, a parent, you know, a spouse that's dealing with their addictive, you know, problems and stuff. Maybe someone else that just can just give them help and support in a way to just start moving forward and just starting to get out of the mindset of like the addiction, like they're recovered, like get over it. You know what I mean?
So then you need to set a date for your free group and commit to it and commit to getting them on.
Does that sound like okay? Or is it like, because I've been scared to have a group that's not just like health fitness.
Sure. You can do free groups for anything that yes, definitely. 100% yes.
Like you'd be helping them and providing value to them with the need where they're at in their life. And they would be like, that would connect them emotionally to you because you have helped them through a very dark place in their life. And free groups are to add value. It doesn't matter how you add it, just add it. And you'd be adding a huge value to those people and you'd be creating a lot of relationships that way.
Okay.
And it's like, wow, Annie just made me feel freaking amazing in 7 days. I wonder what could happen in 30. I mean, you know, it's like if you can shed light on their life in 7 days, then, you know, somebody's going to want more. They don't want to lose you after 7 days. They, like, how do I join you for another 30?
Right. I mean, because I do shit ton of personal development. I don't sleep, as you can tell. But I just think that with this group of people and with the people that are reaching out to me, it's so more, I don't know, in depth than just health and fitness. And ultimately they want health and fitness, but they also have nobody like helping them through what they're going through.
Tara Carr was doing like, what's his name? Dave Ramsey, like how to manage your money group, free group. And she ended up enrolling a lot of coaches through that. So yeah, you don't have to do health and fitness or a clean eating group. It's whatever you want, you know, definitely. And whatever you can add value to their life through. So maybe that's going to be your niche, you know. And then in that free group, what you're going to do is you're going to weed out those people who are really serious about making that change and having a more, you know, transitioning into a more normal or whatever it is life after addiction. So you're going to weed people out in that group and you're going to see who's really serious. And then the people that are really serious are going to end up probably enrolling with you.
Right. Because I do have 2 girls that are currently in a challenge group for this month that are like, the one girl she's been recovered for months and she's doing good. But the other girl was like, I use still twice a week and I can't stop. My husband's getting annoyed and this and that. And so, she's a friend of mine. Well, not a friend of mine, but a friend of a friend. So I was like, well, if you buy a challenge pack or if you buy a workout program or something, I'll let you in the group. And I mean, her husband messaged me the other day and was like, she hasn't touched anything. Like, she's insane in the group, posting every day, commenting on everybody's stuff and like doing so well. Like, I don't know. It's hard because you don't want anybody to struggle. So I want to help everybody, but you just can't help everybody. They have to be in that mindset. And it's so touchy with people that are recovering or with addiction, because if you're not in the right mindset, you're right, I'm just wasting my time.
Yeah, and you can't, like you said, you can't help everyone. All it's going to do is suck all of your energy out. So that's what I'm saying. I weed out, you know, I had somebody on the phone who was like giving me every excuse about everything, about she couldn't follow the meal plan because she cooks too much food and then she has to eat it all before it goes bad. And I was like, you can put it in the freezer. You know, it was like, and she's like, well, I can't do this. And I was just like, I was like, you know what? I don't think this is the right thing for you. I told her straight up. I was like, I don't think this is the right thing for you. I was like, and I was just, yeah. And then she deleted me on Facebook and I was like, done. I mean, why am I going to work with someone who I don't want to work with her? Why would I, because she doesn't want to help herself. So I'm never going to be able, like I did this video today. If you watch that video, it's like, I can provide the best environment on the planet, that the most conducive environment for you to reach your goals ever. It can be the awesomest challenge group in the whole wide world. But if you're not committed, it's not going to do anything for you.
Right.
So instead of being like, I want to help everyone, think of you, posture yourself as, I only want to help you if you're serious. And I tell people that on the phone. I'm like, I don't want you to enroll unless you're 100% committed to the challenge group. And that posture is telling the universe, first of all, that I have an abundance mentality, because I'm not like, oh, am I going to find my people this month? Like, I'm scarcity. And it tells the universe that I am ready to work with serious, committed people. And that's what I'm going to attract to me, because that's what I'm putting out. Posture is huge. And we could talk about that on an entire call if you guys want to. Posturing. Danny Johnson taught me all about posturing. So Kristen, she is the bomb.com for posturing. And 6 figures in 6 months is in my Dropbox. If anybody really needs that for the confidence and stuff, I put it on in my car and I played it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So I can almost repeat some of the things that she said. That's all about posturing and confidence. Not just recruiting for challenge groups, but for coaching distributors.
I've actually started saying similar things on my calls where I'm like, I could call you every day and cheer you on and ask you how your workouts are going. And if you don't want to do it yourself, this isn't going to work. You'll buy the challenge pack and you won't use it. Like, I've actually started saying that too. And then those people actually end up buying the challenge pack, because it's like, that was like the kind of kick in the ass they needed in reality check to be like, okay, you're right. I got to be serious about this.
Or you're just, like I see in a lot of your posts that you're just like, you either want it or you don't. And I want you if you want it. And if you don't, fine, come to me when you're ready. And I think those are the type of people you attract, because they're like, she wants me to want it, and they want it and they do it.
Yeah, I'll call them out when they're like, I can't afford it. I need to ask my husband. I need to pray about it. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. You're not ready. Guess who comes back and buys a challenge pack? And I got that from Steph and Danny Johnson. Marissa introduced me to Danny Johnson. I listened to it over and over again, all about posture. I mean, I love the one, oh, you need to pray about it? Well, how do you know God didn't send me to help you? Oh, got you. Then they're like speechless. So,
PD. So this all comes down to personal development pretty much, and, continuing to grow yourself so you can grow your business, because your business will be a direct reflection of how much you grow as a person. So if you're stuck, you're probably not doing enough personal development, or you're not growing enough through it. Okay, it's 9:15. All right, Kristen is the last thing, and then we're cutting it.
No, it's okay.
Okay. All right. It's 9:15. I love you guys. This is an awesome call, and I would love to keep doing this where we talk about what the struggles are. I think it's really helpful for everyone to hear what everyone else is struggling with and the solutions. Bye.